He knows it doesn't matter what's under a hood. The only thing that matters is who's behind the wheel.
When I'm flushing it, I don't stick to it.
Hello, welcome back to Under the Covers. This is a little bit of a different setting here. We are your hosts. My name is Dominic, and this is Matt we have with us.
Dom, thanks for having me. It is spring here in Texas. Spring has sprung. It is 75 degrees. It is perfect golf weather. I'm pulling 36 whole days every Saturday right now.
That's massive.
It's fantastic here.
Massive. We just hit 46, and it's been a sunny, beautiful day up here in Minnesota, so it's been great.
Man, tough scene.
A lot of sim golf for us up here. Glad to have you with us. Good pod for us today. We wanted to jump on because our friend Brian Rolapp, he seems to be kind of working out a new schedule for the PGA Tour, and we kind of wanted to give our thoughts on it and also give our thoughts on what we think the PGA Tour schedule should be. So a brief explanation, Rolapp is kind of wanting to cut down the number of tournaments over the year. I guess maybe taking away from Live a little bit, how they're only doing, 8 per year, and also smaller fields as well. So it's a little bit more of a prestigious tournament to get into each week, and Matt had touched on it a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about how there's potentially going to be a PGA Tour A and a PGA Tour B, almost like a major leagues, minor leagues situation. And I think that could be pretty good for golf. I think it'll also be good for the guys who actually make it to the top level. So there's no cuts in these tournaments. They're almost guaranteed money each time. I'm assuming bigger purses. Do you know?
Yeah, so I think we're going to have a new type of PGA Tour, right? I don't know if it's going to be no cut. It might be small cut. So if you think about what we just saw at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, it was a field of 90-ish guys, I think, with a cut line of, I think it was 10 or 12 players that got cut.
Pretty small.
Yeah, it's pretty small. Talking to some people in the business, it sounds like these tournaments are getting more and more expensive to host, right? So we're just going to use MasterCard as an example. They put up millions and millions of dollars to host their Arnold Palmer Invitational, right? What they don't want is, two guys that might be younger, not really known, and the viewings and the rankings go down, or the ratings of the tournament go way down, because you don't have Scotty versus Rory, right? And you're not going to get that every week. But what these kind of tournaments do guarantee, right, is Scotty and Rory to have a better chance of competing. But if they don't, right, they're also in kind of primetime coverage where you can still show shots of Scotty throughout Sunday, right? Which is exactly what happened at the Arnold Palmer Invitational.
Kind of like those ESPN featured groups. You kind of keep those big names on there.
Exactly, right? You want those guys to be, what's drawing the people to the tournament. Saturday and Sunday, there's a chance that, some kid buys a ticket to come to the tournament, right? And Scotty doesn't make the cut, and he's been waiting to see Scotty all week,
especially
right?
this year.
Exactly, right? So it's just one of those things that it makes sense from a business perspective. Is it the best thing for golf? Probably not. Being golf is kind of a meritocracy, and the whole thing is, right, is Brian Harmon can go win the Open Championship one year, mm-hmm. right, and beat everybody if he's hot that week. But that's probably not best for the corporate people hosting these tournaments. So unfortunately, I think the tour's going this way. It sounds like this is what Rolapp is going to bring out. I think they're going to have obviously pathways to qualify for people to get into these tournaments, but it's going to be a lot more difficult for somebody that's ranked 120th in the world
mm-hmm.
To be in one of these events.
It's kind of interesting. The comparison, I would say, is almost like NCAA basketball, where
for sure
now they have, instead of just the best teams become the conference champions for having the best record all year, they created a new single elimination tournament. And then, if you win that, you have an automatic bid to the March Madness. But they're essentially making more opportunities for more games. This one, it's a little bit different where they're doing less opportunities, but they're kind of keeping those big name guys in the field. So that way, like you said, you can watch them and kind of keep going with your favorite names.
Right. It's almost like the lore. I mean, the lore of March Madness, though, right, is Davidson beating Duke,
Exactly.
right, in the first round, like 16 upsetting number one.
Anybody can win.
But in golf, like, you almost don't want David to beat Goliath, right? You almost want Scotty to dominate. You almost want Rory to be in contention because that's what draws the viewers, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting how they've positioned themselves of, it goes back to like the whole idea that Tiger was essentially underpaid as a PGA Tour player his entire career. Now Tiger's going to be is probably worth almost $1 billion now.
That's endorsements.
I know, but he in theory he was underpaid by the tour for how much money and notoriety he brought to other players and the tour itself, right? So it's just interesting. Brian Rolapp, if you're not familiar, right, he comes from the NFL. He was the guy who, I think he created Thursday Night Football, if I'm not mistaken. Like,
right.
He was the TNF guy. And now look how big TNF is, right? Hosted by Amazon.
That's still,
and so he's
still arguable if people like it or not.
Well, yeah, we got to get Richard Sherman off the TV, but that's their whole podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, continue.
Right, like he comes from that NFL model, which every game matters. Every game is a big game. There's no off weeks, right? And they really lean into their stars, right? Going back, look how much the NFL protects their quarterbacks, right? And it's bad for business if Patrick Mahomes gets hurt and is off the field, right? When the Chiefs are playing the Bills. It's bad for business if Scotty Scheffler has an off week and misses the cut at the Players' Championship. That's not what they want from a long-term kind of sustainability model, if that all makes sense.
Yeah, it reminds me of I'm a Houston Texans fan because you're Eagles still, right? If you watch football.
Yes, we're having a tough offseason. It seems like we're kind of getting rid of some people today, unfortunately.
So, prime example, CJ Stroud's in the playoffs. Kyle Long had a really good podcast about this where nowadays, CJ Stroud played horribly. In any other game, you're benching him. Davis Mills is playing very well. It's bad for business to bench him because for some reason, if you bench a guy, that means he's not even useful ever. So like, it would have helped the team. It would have been bad for the team in the long run, I guess. But like, it's one of those where there's so many different moving parts to it, where business essentially rules every aspect of the game now. It's almost not even for the love of the game. Like the Masters is the only thing that's keeping it traditional, and they're not really changing anything.
Right. But Masters has always been a very elite field. Masters only has about 100 people in the field. But if you win a PGA Tour event, you got in the field, right? That was the way to do it. So if you won the John Deere Classic, you were in the Masters, right?
Exactly. You earn it.
So, but a lot of like too, right? Like even think with the Jordan Spieth, right? So Jordan Spieth gets all these sponsor exemptions, which basically means the companies that host these tournaments have a few spots that they can give to whoever they want, right? Now, if you're MasterCard, of course you're going to give one to Jordan Spieth, right? He's Jordan Spieth. So many people want to come out and watch Jordan Spieth. But the guy they probably should be giving it to is somebody like Blades Brown, who like could actually probably win one of these tournaments. Not saying Jordan can't win one of these tournaments, but he kind of has been stinky for the last 10 years. But we
love him.
We're close. We're getting back. We're so close. But right, like Blades Brown, yes, he's known in our corner of the internet in the golf world very well. But to some guy that pulls up the TV on Sunday and Saturday to watch the golf, sees Blades Brown, or they want to watch Jordan Spieth. They want to watch Jordan Spieth. They don't really want. They don't know, or they really don't care who Blades Brown is. It sucks, but I think this is where we're going. So,
can I ask you a quick question about that? And hopefully it doesn't turn too much of a tangent. So nowadays, YouTube golf and PGA golf is a very big conversation. What is your thoughts of like a Luke Clanton who's been on Good and all those major channels, like giving him a sponsorship exemption in the hopes that if somebody doesn't really want to watch Jordan Spieth or know who he is because they're super young and they only watch YouTube, if they give it to one of these guys who's all over YouTube and is good in the social media space.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% on, right? Eventually, you're going to see somebody like Brad Dahlke or
Luke Juan,
Garrett,
maybe,
or whatever get a sponsor exemption into one of these tournaments. Now, I do think there's rules for the sponsor exemptions, but don't quote me on that. I do think they have to have some sort of inside the top X world ranking or something.
There's got to be.
But I at some point, yes, some tournament is going to say, you know what, we need a younger audience. And I think the Barracuda Championship, which is the opposite field to the Open Championship, tried to give a sponsor exemption to the guy that has the teeth. What's his name?
Grant Horvat.
That's right.
Which he respectfully declined, actually, because they wouldn't let him.
Yeah, because he couldn't film.
Yeah, they wouldn't let him film, which is, I get it. It's very interesting, but like the amount of content that could be given from there, I guess it would all go to Grant's channel, so maybe that's why they're maybe just trying to keep it in house. But
the PGA Tour has super strict content rules.
It makes sense.
On their events. And it's been a huge pain point for kind of media channels that have come up.
Yeah.
And, Golf Channel has very exclusive rights to air a bunch of the PGA Tour stuff and it gets into a whole thing. But, I think you're going to see a day where one of these really good YouTube golfers gets into one of these events. I think the Bryan Bros are kind of already doing that. Like the European Tour already does that with the Bryan Bros. If in their smaller European Tour fields, they let them into like the Danish Championship and like the Thailand stuff.
I think
and whatever.
Is it Dubai Invitational? Is that what it's called? I think they played in that.
Yeah, there's a couple in Dubai that they all play. And yeah, I mean, it's going to happen for sure. Yeah, I think, right? Like I think even during the Pro-Am tournament, some of those YouTuber guys already play. So we're going to see it. And I think it makes business sense and it makes sense to pull in that younger audience. But again, is the younger audience going to tune into a 4-hour broadcast or are they just going to go to YouTube and watch
That's a great point.
Grant Horvat's recap of what he did?
Yeah, where they hit a shot, they skip to the next one. Where golf, you got to be way more patient.
Right. So yeah, all interesting stuff.
For sure.
So I think what we're going to do, I wrote a little, what my ideal PGA Tour schedule would be. So I'm going to run it through you and you're going to come up with some names of the tournaments that you think the name should be. I think we need to first of all, get rid of all these like corporate sponsors in the front of the names. I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be fun and it would be a fun exercise.
Right.
While we go through what the PGA Tour schedule should be.
And we're not saying tournaments shouldn't be sponsored and they shouldn't be plastered everywhere, but it's take it out of the name, get some more creative names in there is what we want.
Right. Because like they always go back and like Tiger Woods, like Tiger Woods won the AT&T championship. It's like, no, he didn't. He won the Crosby Clambake when it was at Pebble, right? He did not win, but whatever.
I love it.
All right. So week number 1, lots of rumors. Brian Rolapp is going to get rid of the Hawaii tournament, but we need to bring the Hawaii tournament back. So the tournaments is the week before the Super Bowl. So if you know that off week before the Super Bowl is the Pro Bowl, which nobody watches. No, so we're good there.
It's embarrassing.
So this is Tournament of Champions. So only the champions from last year's events can get in here, which is what they used to do. It's at Kapalua, one of the best golf courses out there, super cool views. And to bring back the players, to get them feeling good, it's a 2-man best ball tournament, right? It's not super stressful, laid back, only, 30, 40 guys in the field. No FedEx Cup points because, again, it's only the champions. And kind of allows the players to work out the rust. So Hawaii Tournament of Champions, week number 1, week before the Super Bowl.
I was kind of thinking like a Musubi match play, maybe. I think that could be a good one.
The Maui match play.
The Maui match play. Have you had Musubi before?
I haven't. I don't even know what that
I might be
is.
mispronouncing that, but it's rice, spam, wrapped in some I think it's like seaweed wrap, just like sushi. Dude, it's so good. Anyways,
Bam.
Musubi match play, Maui match play. There's something there.
Mahalo match play.
There it is. Nice. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. So off week for the Super Bowl. Let the Super Bowl do its thing.
Yep.
You know, we don't need to try to go against the Super Bowl.
Because nobody wins in that situation.
Yeah. 1 week after the Super Bowl, Torrey Pines, right? So go to San Diego, you know, again, pretty chill. The weather's still really bad mostly across the country in February. And it kind of acts as like the season opener, right? It's a full field event. You get all the guys in there. There's FedEx Cup points, and you're kind of getting their first go at everything. And all the guys kind of like Torrey Pines, right? I mean, it's long, it is hard, but it is a good kind of, you know, again, you get the views on TV, you get the ocean and everything.
Yeah, we like to watch it too.
Yeah.
I kind of like playing with the California sunshine. Kind of give it like the sunshine stack. Or sunshine swing. There's something there. I'm going to say that for a lot of these, but you kind of play around with something that the state or city is known for, just kind of coming up with some random names. Instead of just, like you said before, the MasterCard.
Farmers Insurance.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody cares about Farmers Insurance.
Okay, next up, we go up the coast. Go in the week after. Make these guys play a couple weeks in a row. You know, LeBron doesn't like back-to-backs anymore, but we do. I was waiting for a laugh.
That one took me a second.
Pebble Beach. Going back, pulling some history back on the PGA Tour. Crosby Clambake. So if you're not aware, Pebble Beach used to be called the Crosby Clambake. Bing Crosby used to host a bunch of actors, PGA Tour professionals, PGA professionals, and they would play this Pro-Am. Now it's kind of been, this Pro-Am's still there, but it's been taken away a little bit. I think you bring back that heritage, right, of the tournament. You do Pro-Am Thursday through Saturday, so you get 3 days of Pro-Am. Rotate between Pebble, Spyglass. Try to get Cypress back in the rotation. Would be sick.
Be huge.
I think you might be able to do it if you have a smaller field.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, you have to kind of host this tournament at this time, especially if Pebble is going to become one of the U.S. Open anchor sites. You can't have the Open in June and then back to Pebble in August during the playoffs. Like, you got to have it in like January, February, etc. So, and that's historically always when the Crosby Clambake has been. So, Crosby Clambake, you know, kind of early in the season.
I agree keeping the name, or sorry, not keeping it, reverting it back to Crosby Clambake just to kind of keep that history. I will add one more caveat. You cannot pay to get in. Like,
for the celebrities?
For the celebrities. They have to be actual celebrities, not CEOs of Chipotle that nobody knows who the heck you are. You know, like.
Right. I like that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Actually, celebrities. And then if I had to guess, they probably were money hungry. But if I also had to guess, like, maybe they didn't get enough celebrities on the field, so that's why they opened it up to paying. But like, get as many celebrities as you can. I'm sure you can find some. And then
get Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she would love it. Have Travis caddy for her. It'd be great.
Yeah.
And then so that's one thing, is actually get celebrities that we want to see. The second thing is actually show them on TV. So lately, obviously we would love to see the pros play in this Pro-Am, but you never actually see the celebrities anymore. Like, I saw maybe Travis Kelce walking by once. You see Aaron Rodgers one time, but like, I was lucky enough. My one company I worked for, they had a house on hole 14 on the tee box, and we got to bring customers there. So we got to walk around that area, and I locked eyes with Aaron Rodgers, and that was very fun. And he was playing with.
Did you actually lock eyes, or was he staring through you into some like abyss?
Oh, he was lost. He was for sure. He was looking through me. And then Darius Rucker was his playing partner. But like, you didn't see that on TV. They only show the pros anymore. You know, why not show the celebrities?
You could almost do like a McAfee broadcast where they only show the celebrities, right?
I like that, actually. Just like give it to somebody else, and he's the perfect person. But like, give it to other known podcasters, or, you know, those side shows.
Right. And then you kind of have it on like ESPN2 or ESPN the Ocho, whatever you want to do, right? And then or you even have like the celebrity box up in the corner where you get to see like shitty celebrity shots or
There you
something.
go.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like you can do so many fun things with it.
ESPN would be
I know that
I'm interrupting you. ESPN would be perfect for that because they have right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been on ESPN in a bit since you have YouTube TV, but they do the feature groups. They have 2 feature groups. They have 2 featured holes, and then the main feed up until like 11:30. And it's essentially like you're watching golf in person, so you can only stand at a hole or follow one group, which is kind of I don't like that. But they also give you an option to have the grid style. So just one of those squares can be a celebrity main feed, and you just bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
Let me see Macklemore hit a 7-iron into a par 3. You know what I mean?
So Pebble. Now we really go into the swing. Phoenix Open. It's the party tournament. It's one of the best in the schedule. I was lucky enough to go in 2014.
You did?
Or no, I'm sorry, 2015. 2015 was the year Tiger had the yips at the Phoenix Open.
That sucks.
Where he like couldn't chip. Yeah, that was my one time I've seen Tiger in person.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was a magical experience. But it's such a cool tournament, right? It's unique. It's the whole thing. It's Phoenix. It's all the stuff. So give me your best shot at a name.
I mean, what everyone calls it anyway. Nobody really. Some people will be like, "I'm going to Waste Management" because that's what it's called. But a lot of people have been calling it the People's Open. Let's just give it the name that it wants.
I like it. One more idea.
Yeah, what is it?
If you're gonna stick with Waste Management, Wasted Management.
Oh, dude, write him a check. Write him a check. That's perfect. I love that. Going to what you're saying with Tiger being like that was a one tournament he was bad. That's kind of like where the business sense where these guys they want to make sure people see Scotty. They want to make sure people see Rory and LeBron. If he takes a game off and a 10-year-old is his first time going to an NBA game, he doesn't see LeBron. Then that's bad for business. You know.
All right. That's the end of the West Coast swing. So a couple notable things we're leaving out. LA. We have a different idea for LA. LA is not gone. We have it. Unfortunately, Palm Springs. It's gotta go, man.
Yeah.
It's a small niche tournament. You still might have a PGA Tour B event in Palm Springs. Actually, absolutely, you have a PGA Tour B event in Palm Springs. But do you get the A guys out there? No. I think it's time to let that one go.
Keep it as the B tournaments, and then make it a little cheaper for us amateurs to go out there and visit.
Yeah. It's still a cool spot. So, okay, so we're on to Florida. Doral. You got to go back to Doral. They're going back to Doral this year. So, but they got to really lean into the stars, lean into the city, lean into the culture. What I think would be super cool, make it line up with the F1 event in Miami.
I like that.
Right.
I like that.
So you have just Miami just becomes an absolute party that weekend, right? You got F1, you got golf in town. You do a little cross, you do a little F1 golf cross contamination. Seeing the golfers go to the F1 event at night, right? Host the F1 event at nighttime or something like that'd be sick.
That'd be really cool. Under the lights, you just finished watching a playoff on 18. They did it 3 different times because it's so close, and then you're amped up, and you go to F1 and just have a ball. That'd be great. I would say as a different name, there's so many different ways you can go with Miami. You can kind of go with some of the more historical landmarks like Biltmore, but I think there's a resort called that, or maybe a course. I can't actually remember. Kind of throwing Havana in there, but I think the easiest one and the classic one is the Miami Vice Classic.
I like it.
You can't really go wrong with Miami Vice.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Everyone wears,
I think it's a good name.
Everyone wears fake mustaches, Hawaiian shirts. It'd be great.
You get like a bunch of cool. You can make like a bunch of cool like Miami Vice one-off gear, like head covers and stuff. Like they'd all lean into.
It's the best color combo in sports, besides Houston Oilers. But like Miami Vice, any of those colorway jerseys that any team has in any league is incredible.
For sure. Okay. Then tournament we just had, Bay Hill, Arnold Palmer Invitational. Got to keep this. You got to honor the best in the game.
Yep.
kind of hit that Orlando Disneyland area. So yeah, keep this one. It's a good tournament. The course is meh, but the guys love the tournament. You got to honor our Ani.
Mm-hmm.
So then we move on to the players. Notably, not a major championship. I will die on that sword. It's not a major championship.
Why is that?
You can't tell me it's a major.
Show your work.
It's just not a major. There's things like you can't just willy-nilly say this is now a major. And I know we've done that over the years in golf. That was like back in the 50s and stuff. But the majors are Masters, US Open, PGA Championship, and the Open or the US Open. And then the Ryder Cup is just as big. The Players is a huge, huge event, but it's not a major.
Right.
It's right under a major, but it's not a major. Mm-hmm. They got to find their niche. And I think they're working on that this year, to be honest, but it's their crown jewel.
Yeah.
So.
And the Players is such a sick name. Like, it's hard to mess with that. My other idea for that, TBC Sawgrass, Bone Saw. Bone Saw's ready.
The Bone Saw Invitational, that's the Saudi Arabian.
Well,
that's not original.
No.
That's not original. I don't think.
Yeah, a little Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 1. Anyways.
Okay, Houston Open. We go down to Texas. So again, it's spring here in Texas. You gotta hit the hot parts of the United States while it's cool here.
Yeah.
So Houston Open. There's some good courses down in Houston. Golf Club of Houston, where they used to play, is always been one of the harder tournaments out there. Harder golf courses, challenges the guys. I think you gotta. Houston is such a big market, right? You gotta hit the Houston area. The good thing is it's kind of similar. It has similar, conditions to the Masters, and so you're kind of getting ready for that. Getting ready for that tournament.
Mm-hmm. Kind of fine tuning a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some names, you can kind of go the oil rig challenge, go with the high humidity classic, the sweaty invitational,
swamp ass open.
That's the winner right there, because everyone has that.
Shout out to our boy Rob.
The Wet Sox Invitational.
Okay, we're moving on. We're going to Atlanta. Atlanta playing Eastlake. So Eastlake has historically always been where the Tour Championship is held in August. No more. Eastlake is a great golf course, historic golf course. They got to hit the historic places, but it does not belong. You should not be going down to Atlanta, Georgia in August.
For sure.
They don't want to do that. So you do it right before the Masters. Reason is some guys like to play the week before to get ready, to get in that grind mode. Some guys don't. So you don't make it a huge tournament, but it's a big tournament. But the nice part is it's just a few hour drive from Atlanta up to Augusta. Mm-hmm. So super easy for the guys to travel after they play. And Georgia in the spring, late spring, early summer is fantastic, mm-hmm. right? So it's an easy win for the tour. I think they got to do that.
Yeah, the Hot Atlanta Heat Challenge. there's
the Hawks Open.
The Hawks Open. The Georgia Peaches.
Yeah, there you go.
You don't even need a golf term at the end.
The Peach Open.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Peach Open. Make it easy.
Yeah. Okay, the Masters. Obviously, you got to go to the Masters next week. No changes there. Mm-hmm. And it really should always be the first major of the year. So
I like that. No notes.
Then this is one of the ones that the tour has actually always gotten right, I think. They always go to Harbor Town the week after the Masters.
Love Harbor Town.
And it's super chill. The families love it. It's really relaxed. You're in Hilton Head. People love it. It's a great place to be. I think they've always done this one right. So
yeah,
no notes there for the tour.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, it's such a high stress, high attention grabbing event, the Masters. So then your next move being Harbor Town, it's very visually pleasing, and it's just usually a fun tournament. So yeah, I agree. Where it's very relaxed, very chill. I don't really think you need to change it, and That's just a great name, Harbor Town Invitation.
Yeah.
You don't want to change that.
Yeah. Next on the list, the Nashville or NOLA two-man tournament. So here's one. Right now, the tour doesn't really rotate tournaments. They like to keep them kind of in the same market every year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you got to go. You have a two-man best ball tournament, or even an alternate shot event. Basically, what the Zurich Championship is today. And it's in New Orleans, so you kind of keep that. But you also rotate it to Nashville. There's not a PGA Tour event in Nashville right now. Nashville is a huge up-and-coming market. And you basically kind of visit a cool course out there, go back to New Orleans, and you kind of change up the golf course a little bit in Nashville. I think that would be cool. Gives the players something else to see. And then the two-man format, like, it is good to change up the format a little bit. We just got done with the Masters. We've been playing, regular stroke play all year. You got to throw something in there eventually.
I do like the NOLA two-man, great name. And then if it's in Nashville, it's a Nashville two-step.
Ooh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yep.
It's good stuff. Next one, a place near to my heart, Colonial Cup. Shout out.
There it is.
It's a great spot. Old classic course on tour. The guys love the golf course. Golf course is cool.
Huge fan.
Something that might put me in hot water with my my Dallas peeps. It serves the entire DFW market. If you're a golfer and you really want to go visit the tournament, you drive to Colonial. It's just in Fort Worth, just a few miles away. No Dallas events.
I think that's
Colonial serves the DFW market.
I think that's very yes. Agree.
Maybe you have a PGA Tour B event in Dallas.
I can see that. There's a lot of B events that can happen. Kind of give other cities and other markets a little bit more, opportunity. But yeah, I like this list.
Dallas just doesn't have. Well, it has good golf courses. It does. It has great golf courses. They're just not visually appealing, and the great golf courses are super landlocked and not able to host a PGA Tour event.
Right.
Right. So it's kind of unsustainable. So
yeah, Colonial's awesome. It's shorter, but it's so hard.
It's not even that short, which is crazy. Like it's par 70 for the PGA Tour guys, and it's like 7,100 yards. Par 7.
I thought it was under 7.
I don't think so.
Okay. Hey.
Maybe I'm not very long. Yeah, PGA Championship. So there's always these rumors that the PGA Championship is gonna go back to August. I don't think the PGA of America is gonna let that happen. Because again, my Dallas roots. PGA of America built a monstrosity in Frisco, which is North Dallas, essentially. And you absolutely cannot host a PGA Championship in August in Dallas, Texas. It's impossible.
Nope.
They'll die. I went to the LPGA tournament in June at PGA Frisco, and Charlie Hull offered me water because I looked hot as I was following her.
Yeah, you did.
And she thought I was gonna pass out. She kind of like leaned over and she's like, "Do you need some water? You look thirsty."
With her cigarette in her mouth.
Yeah, I was like, "Yes, ma'am, please."
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks, mommy.
She was very nice. Shout out Charlie Hull. So PGA Championship, it obviously moves around. After that, the DC Open. Can't believe that the PGA Tour doesn't have a tournament in DC right now.
It is pretty wild.
Crazy.
It is pretty wild. I would say, before you get into the details, some of the names I've been thinking of for the DC Open. DC Open's pretty strong. The Filibuster Fairway, the Presidential Cup. I would say change the President's Cup now, because it's USA versus some European team. You can find a name for that. Name this the President's Cup.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Kind of going on her silly season. The Swamp Open.
Ooh, there you go. The Bipartisan Bash.
Yeah. It's like Bipartisan Bash. The Bipartisan Bash is
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think you're going to get some characters, right? And there's a ton of great courses up there. Congressional, ton of good land out there. So you will find something to play.
For sure.
Play that tournament out there. Okay, going over to Memorial. Muirfield Village, Jack's Place. It's kind of like the Arnold Palmer Invitational. You have to have you have to honor the greats of the game, right? So Jack's going to get his tournament, right? And Muirfield Village is a pretty sick golf course as well. So,
and for the naming rights, is Memorial Championship like? Do we want to keep Memorial because it's
that's like Jack's thing for some reason. I don't know.
You just name it like the Nicholas something.
Yeah, like the Arnold Palmer Invitational,
exactly.
The Jack Nicklaus Invitational.
Yeah,
right?
Just give him his flowers,
or the Golden Bear.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so we're in the middle of the summer. We cannot host anything south of Mason-Dixon line anymore.
Nope.
It's done. You can't do it. So we're going up to Philly. The Philly Invitational, right, has a collection of some of the best courses in the world. They kind of hit their stride in June. Conditions are good, et cetera, et cetera. And it's a huge market. You got to go to Philly, right?
I like it. The Rocky Classic.
Philly Special.
Yep. Isn't George Foreman from there?
Is he?
There's another incredible boxer from Philly, and I can't believe I'm forgetting. But yeah,
it's not Mark Wahlberg, is it?
Yeah, the Wahlberg Invitational. There's so many different names that you can go with Philly, but yeah, I do like having one in there, especially like you said, you want to kind of go north whenever it's middle of that season.
And then we're going right onto the U.S. Open. So again, kind of using Philly as like that precursor to the U.S. Open. Most of the U.S. Opens are hosted kind of in that northeast area. I wouldn't say all of them are, but majority of them are. So you kind of have that short drive, short travel for the guys a lot of the times. And it's the peak of the summer, right? For the U.S. Open. Right after the U.S. Open, we're going on to Minneapolis. Not many places you can visit in the United States in late June, early July. You gotta hit Mini.
We'll get you up here in the middle of the summer for Minnesota.
I know.
I mean, the Twin Cities Classic, Twin Cities Cup, thrown in Twin Cities somewhere. It's most likely going to be at Hazeltine, unless they would love to open Interlaken. That'd be kind of sick. But yeah,
that'd be sick.
I like Twin Cities something for that name, but
yeah,
I think it's a great spot for a golf tournament.
And it's a golf obsessed city.
Yeah, I agree.
Like so many golfers, right?
They're locked in their rooms for 4 months, 5 months out of the year. So they want to get out there. June, July is, you can have snow in the end of April. So you really don't know when you're going to actually get to start. So June, July, that's like peak. You've played a couple times at this point, depending on how your schedule is, but you're fiending for that golf lifestyle. So it'd be perfect for that time lot.
Okay, going on from Minneapolis, the Canadian Open. You got to go up to Canada. National Open. Here's my take. It should be regarded as basically the same level as the Players. You have that Canadian Open as like, this is a national event, right? It's a huge market, golf obsessed up in Canada, and you make it a big event, right? You make it something special. I think that would be super cool.
The Hoosier slap shot.
I like that. I like that. But yeah, got to go to Canada. Got to go visit our friends up north. Now, we're getting into the fun part. Scottish Open. So again, this is something that the tour's gotten right over the last few years. Is they go to the Scottish Open. The Scottish Open is kind of a joint DP World, PGA Tour event. It's kind of the same. They're kind of one and the same. I think the format currently works, but you do rotate the location. So right now they always play at the Renaissance Club, which is supposedly just a bunch of Houston people hanging out there is what I've heard. Weirdly. Yeah.
People from Houston are the worst.
I know, right? So, I think kind of a different location, rotate it around. You got to go see some of the cool Scottish courses.
For sure. There's so many cool ones over there.
Right. And then the Open Championship, right? So this is your last major of the year, last chance, you know, and it's obviously a quick jump from the Scottish over to wherever they're playing.
Is there any world where they do 3 weeks up there? Give another European country some love?
I think if they did Irish, Scottish, and the Open, I think that'd be sick.
That'd be pretty cool.
I don't know if you could fit it in.
Yeah.
The Irish is historically, I think, more towards there's one in the fall, but I think it's not the actual Irish Open. It's like a different version. I don't know. But yeah, totally. Irish, Scottish, the Open Championship.
For sure.
Okay, we're back to the United States, but a quick flight from the Open. We're off to Boston. So it's the last regular season for a push into the playoffs. I think the Boston people would really love to see that like playoff mentality, end of the season.
Yep.
Like they love that stuff. I think they would kill for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, something in Boston.
National Treasure, Boston Tea Party.
Yeah.
There's Liberty.
The Patriot.
Yeah.
You just call it the Patriot?
Yeah, that's strong. The Liberty Bell. There's so many different things you can throw in. Maybe you do Liberty Bell for Philly, and then Boston Tea Party. Yeah. I got those crossed up in my head for a quick second. But yeah, there we go. We named them both.
And I just think like there's a ton of great courses up there. You got it. And again, it's crazy that the PGA Tour does not visit Boston right now.
That is weird. I never really caught that. I thought they were.
Yeah. They were for a long time, and then it kind of went away and whatever. So, all right. So we're into the playoffs, right? Playoffs. So they do the playoffs right now. I believe the playoffs are, man, they're so forgettable right now. I don't even remember what they are.
There's the BMW.
Oh, the FedEx St. Jude in Memphis. Memphis in August. No thanks. The BMW, which we are going to continue to have, and then
because that's in Chicago.
Well, it used to be, and now it's kind of all over the place, which is a whole nother thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they have the Tour Championship. I think I don't know. I think I forget that. But right now, so you have first off New York Challenge. You got to visit New York City, right? Around New York City, ton of great courses there. You go right from Boston to the New York City Challenge, or whatever name, and it's one of the biggest markets in the world. Even though Liberty National kind of stinks as a golf perspective, you get views of the Empire State Building and the Statue of Liberty. Like, it's cool, right?
Mm-hmm. The Gabagool Open. There's something.
The Gotham Classic.
There it is. Yeah, I like that. Justice.
Okay, so now on to your Western Open. So historically, the Western Open has always been in Chicago, right? But lately, they've been bringing it to other places, Baltimore, places like that. I think you gotta go back to the roots. Like, it's the Western Open. It's supposed to be in Chicago. Chicago has a ton of great courses. Again, the tour doesn't really visit Chicago on a regular basis right now, which is crazy, right? Huge market. Chicago in August can be kind of swamp ashes, but like, you know, whatever. They'll figure it out. It's hit or miss.
Right. I do have one suggestion. What if they do that course? I think it's Brickyard Crossing in Indianapolis. Have you seen that before?
Oh,
I think that's what it's
right
called.
Right near India. Yeah.
It's literally like 3 holes are inside where the Indianapolis 500 are.
Could be sick.
Put it right there. Imagine all the views you get there.
No, for sure.
And then same time, NASCAR. They gotta drive. They gotta walk through the course or walk through the raceway as they go.
I like that. You kind of going into the F1 stuff. I like it. So then we're on to Seattle or San Francisco. So you kind of have this whole coronation of playoff events. And then you kind of make your way back to the West Coast, right? So start off on the West Coast, end in the West Coast, right? So you kind of rotate, kind of like NOLA and Nashville. You rotate between Seattle and San Francisco, right? So you hit 2 big markets. They're not super. I mean, they are golf obsessed, but they're not like it's not like, you know, it's not like their fans are going to come out in droves for it. There's great courses in Seattle and San Fran, Chambers, TPC Harding Park, Olympic Club.
So many options.
You know, some of the ritzier San Francisco ones you're obviously not going to get every year, but it would be very cool.
Mm-hmm. What about, would you ever see PGA tournaments being played at any of the abandoned courses?
No, too hard to get to. Not enough infrastructure.
That's a great point. Yeah.
And you need, because again, whoever's hosting this tournament is not going to put up the cash to, you know, have no people out there.
That's a good point. For the names for San Francisco, maybe just like the Soup Kitchen Cup.
Soup Kitchen?
Yeah, with all the homeless out there. They don't have anywhere else to put them, so let's just name the golf tournament after them.
We don't have time for politics out here, Dom.
That's not a politics thing. I lived it.
Except for the Bipartisan Open.
Yeah, that's true. Dude, there was a couple stories where we lived.
Oh yeah, you lived.
Yeah, we lived over there, and
totally
we're literally like showing people around San Francisco, and we're like, yeah, the Tenderloin it's the place you want to avoid. It's like the third ward in Houston, or whatever. So it's like the bad place. And then we literally, without even realizing it, we take my brother and sister-in-law to a place in the middle of the Tenderloin. It was delicious pizza, delicious Italian food. We walked out. There's drug deals happening. There's people yelling at the sky in the street at night. We didn't even realize we were in the worst part of the whole city. We're just like, where are we? Like I was,
not good.
I was thinking, oh man, we got really lucky. We got a parking spot right in front of the restaurant, just because there's no cars around because they're not dumb enough to park there.
Do you remember that burrito that we had in San Francisco that one time?
Yes, the Reveille Cafe.
I think about that burrito a lot.
I do too. It had like the thick potatoes in there with a little bit of like chimichurri on the inside. Dude, it was so good.
Yeah.
We got to go back. Yeah. We got to play Harding Park again.
That was a good time. Hit up Pasta Tiempo again.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That's a dream. Hit it again.
Maybe you know what? Screw it. You rotate this tournament to Pasta Tiempo.
I was curious if you were going to bring it up.
Let them. I mean, they will probably tear apart Pasta Tiempo because I think it's too short for them.
Yeah.
But who cares? Let them tear it up.
Well, the greens are tough. They're big, but they're tough. Yeah. All the undulation. I was curious. Yeah. So you brought up the Crosby clam bake for the Pebble.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the event that Alistair McKenzie took the guy who wanted to build Augusta? Or is that a different tournament?
So I think that happened at the U.S. Amateur. Bobby Jones missed the cut at the U.S. Amateur, which was being played at Pebble. Mm-hmm. And then went down and played Pasa Tiempo. And then that was when Alistair McKenzie, he played his first Alistair McKenzie or something and was like, I gotta end up going and building Augusta.
Yeah, like Alistair brought him there. And he's like, let me show you this course I made. And then he saw hole 16 on Pasa Tiempo, and he said, I want this course, this hole at Augusta, which is perfectly modeled. I believe it's number 12 at Augusta. That's the par 3.
No, I think it's 12 at Augusta, but I think it's 12 or 13 because 16 at Pasa Tiempo is the 3-tier green.
It is? Well, it's around there. Yeah. It's towards the end, the back half. Towards the end, third
par 3
of Pasa Tiempo.
Right.
Whatever number it is, but I'm pretty sure it's almost an exact replica. It's obviously there's more trees and there's no bridge, but like it's
that shot haunts me, Dom. Remember, I was like 2 under and I hit it in the creek.
Yeah, you were way.
There's like a little.
You were weirdly.
I was not
weirdly short there. I don't know what happened.
I was not happy.
Yeah,
I was not.
That was crazy.
I think just like that burrito, I think about that shot quite a lot.
That's fair. I do too.
Okay, so Seattle, San Francisco, maybe throw a little Pasa Tiempo in there. Okay, Tour Championship in Los Angeles, baby. Pure prime time golf. 8-9 p.m. finish on the West Coast.
Oh
yeah. You get all the cool stuff, or 8 or 9 p.m. on the East Coast, regular time on the West Coast. Mm-hmm. Riviera. It's the best time of the year for that course, for the course conditions there. Here's a crazy idea. I'm a known TGL hater, Dom.
Yep.
But you lean into it.
Okay.
Finale of TGL at SoFi Stadium, where the Rams play.
Okay.
As a lead up to the Tour Championship.
In what sense? Like
like, because right now they play TGL in the SoFi Dome in Palm Beach Gardens, right? Which is built just for that.
Right.
But you convert SoFi Stadium for one night to be able to host simulator golf, and you do all the crazy stuff and whatever in SoFi Stadiums with all those people.
So you're saying the finale of TGL that is played there, and then they lead into the. Okay, I like that. Yeah, because then it gives some of the players, you get a day of rest if you wanted to. Then you can compete if you're in it.
It'd be crazy.
I don't think Tom Kim's getting in the Tour Championship, but here we go.
It'd be nuts. Not right now. But yeah, I mean, I think that would be a pretty cool schedule. I don't think the guys have to play every tournament, but I think that these are the ones they're gonna want to hit, right? These are gonna be the big money events. They're gonna be the kind of no cut events or low cut events and whatever. So, now a couple caveats here. We understand that this, not all this stuff might be doable, et cetera, and it's not 100% possible, but I think this is what we would like.
Right. A lot of, obviously, the cable, the TV, the contracts, all the image and likeness rights are definitely at play, but this is way more fun to think about.
And the key is you end it before football season. So right before football season, you maybe last week of preseason is the Tour Championship.
Yeah.
And end it. And then for the fall, it's kind of the European National Open series, right? You have the Irish Open, Spanish Open. You kind of do all that stuff, the Danish Open, and you kind of let those guys pick and choose those events to kind of play in the fall, and they play over in Europe. This way you're still getting the best in the world, right? But they're on in the morning for kind of coffee golf in the United States, and you're not really competing against the NFL, right? And then if you even go to Asia, you get Saturday night finishes for Sunday. Yeah, it'd be super cool.
If it's night golf over there, what time is it for us here?
Well, no, in Asia they'd play regular, and it's like it finishes at like Saturday night. Our time would be Sunday midday there, and that's when they'd be.
No, right. Like
so that's why
if they were to do night golf, like under the lights, like in Japan and stuff.
I don't know.
I don't know the time change.
It'd be nighttime. No, it would be middle of the day here.
Oh, okay. It could be fun.
Yeah.
I like it though.
I think it's just it makes sense. I think obviously the most sense makes you do live in the fall.
Yeah, like
live golf becomes the fall. But right, if you did the live golf stuff in the fall, right, it makes sense, right? Because like it's kind of silly season, it doesn't technically matter, et cetera, et cetera.
It doesn't happen as often,
Right, yeah, it's only eight tournaments.
Your team's on a bye. Your red zone you're not being able to log in. You can turn into some live golf. It'd be great. I like it. I think this schedule's awesome. Anything else?
But yeah, dude, you're the bipartisan. that tickled me.
That could be good. The bipartisan bash.
The bipartisan bash. That tickled me inside. That was good stuff.
We should submit that to the government. I'm sure there's an email we can talk to. Say, hey, if you ever host a golf tournament, I would love naming rights. I think it can work out. Check us out. I think we have some pretty solid ideas here. I don't think this isn't so out of the realm that it makes no sense. I think you can still make plenty of money on these golf courses. I think the fans would love it. I think it'd be fun to maybe even give whatever city is hosting, do one of those write-in votes for the naming rights, and you can because I live in Minnesota. I'm from Houston. You're from Houston. You live in Dallas. We have a very small amount of knowledge of all these cities and states, so we're coming up with dumb names. But I think it'd be great to get everyone involved too.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're probably going to stick with like.
Oh, absolutely! They paid all this money for it. They're going to have their name on the title.
Yeah, but it's nice to have fun with it. But I think I would love to go back on this and see how close we get.
Oh yeah, we'll do a reaction
to after they finish,
right?
Because I think whatever they come up with, there's obviously gonna be tweaks, but
it'll be fun to see it.
New PGA Tour, it's coming at us. Unfortunately, we're gonna lose some great events like the John Deere Classic and they'll be on PGA Tour Beat.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can
We'll still
still,
be able to see
the sickos can still watch.
Exactly. For all the golf nerds out there. But I think that just about wraps it up for us. What do you think?
I like it. Yeah. Players Championship this week. Shout out Pete Dye.
Oh yeah. We'll hopefully we'll be releasing this Tuesday, the 10th. And then we'll be coming out with our normal podcast maybe Wednesday, but be sure to follow us on our socials at Under the Covers Golf. Excited for the Players Championship. Excited for Mr. Brian Rolapp Sir's schedule that's coming out potentially Wednesday morning. Not exactly sure. But yeah, can't wait to see what happens, and we can kind of get a look under the covers, see what happens.
If you are listening PGA Tour, we'd love an invite to the press conference he's going to do.
That'd be great. We would ask great questions, very meaningful questions. But all right. See you next week. Peace.